understanding everything about human behavior and how it can help you create a healthier and happier lifestyle. Everything starts with the mind, and what the mind affects can be changed.
Hello again. I'm Heidi Brumbaugh from Be Well TV, and I'm here again live with you on Be Well TV Live. Today, I'd like to welcome my guest, Nicholas Grounds, who is the President and Executive Director of the British American Chamber of Commerce in Orlando, which is a business network dedicated to connecting businesses and individuals with a big focus on the exchange between Great Britain and the United States. So welcome, Nick.
Nice to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. And I'd like to tell the viewers that Nick has been one of the great surprises and gifts to me during the never-ending Zoom meetings, let's just say. I met Nick last year in a weekly, I think it was a weekly Zoom exchange, and got to know each other, and it's been a great relationship, and I appreciate it, and appreciate you, Nick. So thanks for being here.
Oh, pleasure.
So,
thank you for the invite.
Yeah. So Nick, we have viewers worldwide, but you know, a lot of the people would like to know what's really going on in Great Britain, because I think a lot of people really are very aware of their own situation and their own surroundings, but certainly they're very interested in what's going on in Great Britain and other places around the world, and travel in general. So tell us what you know.
Well, I mean, the situation in the UK is still pretty dire. They're still up virtually on the whole country's on full lockdown. You know, I mean, my mother, for example, is in a rehab after breaking her hip at 91 years old. And when she went from hospital to rehab, she went in without COVID and got transferred with COVID. So now she's just come out of an isolation ward. But my sister there, she couldn't visit at all. She was allowed like a Zoom chat every 2 or 3 days. So people can't, there's nothing free about the movement around. So, you know, and I don't honestly think that's going to change much until probably the third quarter. Whereas, you know, the UK is one of the, in fact, outside of North America, it's the largest country to visit the Orlando area. I mean, we average about 1.7 million people per year. And that is second to Canada. So there's a lot of movement around. There's a lot of Brits live here. There's a lot of Brits have holiday homes. And I know that chatting to people over there, they're really itching to get out and about and get on airplanes and cruises and whatever else they need to do. But they are a vital part of Central Florida vacationing and the tourism industry here. And until we get some of these cogs back into the wheel and getting them all oiled up and ready to go, it's going to be a tough time.
So what are they saying is on the horizon? Is there something coming up soon? Are they going to loosen up travel restrictions?
They haven't chatted about that yet. Certainly, they're going to be locked down until March. They are all getting the vaccinations. It's similar to over here with the elderly folk getting it first, and then people with pre-existing conditions, and then first responders and stuff like that. So they're quickly motoring through that process. But because just the way that England's set up is that there's a lot of larger cities, and then there's a great space between them, and then there's another city. So therefore, there's not conurbations like there are here so much. So they're finding it difficult to actually restrict this. Then we're getting different strains coming through. That's why I'm thinking that, if we start getting some relief in the second quarter, that they'll, gently open up the gates. So therefore, summertime, and which is the main vacation period for Brits, that will happen. But obviously, I don't think it's going to happen at Easter, which is obviously in April.
So what's going on with commerce? Obviously, there's generally some trade going on between the U.S. and the UK, but also even in Europe, just in that close vicinity. So what's going on with general trade and commerce?
Trade and commerce will still go on because a lot of that is, not so much people to people, but obviously they're going through the double whammy, if you like, of Brexit. So that came in full force this year. So therefore, there's not been a new trade deal. I'm sure there's negotiations that are being started with regards to the Biden administration and the powers that be in England or in the UK. And then there's some extension of some of the pre-Brexit stuff with the EU because of COVID. So therefore, they're just really getting through. But commerce itself has not been greatly affected by this.
Okay. Well, I know you don't have a crystal ball, and no one has a crystal ball, but in your opinion, what do you think people need to do, particularly in the Orlando tourist area? What should people do to kind of prepare for when the floodgates open and everybody's anxious to come visit Mickey?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've spoken to many people in the tourism industry, mainly the iDrive people and the theme parks. Basically, most of them are starting to come out of hibernation, if you like, for want of a better word, and they're starting to get things going, because obviously we're fairly fortunate in the state of Florida that, our schools are open, our restaurants are open, our shops are open. So, we are a little bit freer to start things going. Obviously, people aren't going to go out and hire 100% of the staff that they had prior to COVID. But I think that what's happening is that they're starting to phase these people back in. So therefore, when the floodgates do open, that they're fully prepared, because the worst thing that would happen is that, the restrictions get taken off, a load of planes come in, and no one's prepared for them.
Yeah. Well, in my opinion, I think that people that are in the hospitality industry should probably be prepared to do things a little bit differently as well. So hopefully everyone is utilizing this time when it's not quite as busy as you would hope or that it used to be. Hopefully they're using this time to prepare for small changes, whatever they may be, whether it's safety precautions, maybe it's just mental comfort, certainly with international travelers that have been in an environment where they're coming right out of lockdown, there's a good chance that they may enter a restaurant or a hotel with a slightly different perception or a different feeling from what they had a year ago, let's say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think that one of the things that certainly the Orlando area and other things in tourism is that when the business does start to come back, and it will come back, is that I think there should be obviously the safety and health of everybody is first. But I think that we've got to make sure that the level of customer service is exemplary, because we don't really want to have a great number of people coming in and then all of a sudden they go, well, Orlando or Central Florida wasn't prepared for us. It wasn't ready. The customer service is horrible and the rest of it, because then we will take a step backwards. I think that, now we've had a year of the COVID going around, everybody should be prepared, and all the building blocks should be in place for when the people start coming back in.
I agree 100%. And this is a great time for businesses to kind of work on their customer service training and prepare their staff and get ready for that. So I want to talk a little bit about the British American Chamber of Commerce specifically. Tell me what is unique about the chamber and what makes it different from other chambers?
One thing, there's two sort of types of chamber, the ethnic chambers, which obviously we are one of them, and then there's regional chambers. Obviously, the British American Chamber can span across Central Florida, so we have a large sort of catchment area. The uniqueness of it is obviously we have the British angle, and obviously having the greatest number of visitors from any overseas country. But what we've tried to do over the last 4 years is that networking is done slightly differently. And, a lot of people go into a networking group and they walk into a room and go, what can all these people do for me? And we've sort of turned it around that really the idea is, what can I do for everybody here? So it's a much more of a giving networking thing. And we've sort of instilled in people that, it's not about giving business cards out. It's about building relationships. And I know it's not a new concept, but too many people go into networking groups purely to get something out of it, opposed to giving something to it. And I think that is that's the primary thing that we've done. We obviously haven't had too many events in the last year, but we're starting to prepare. Starting in March, actually, we're anticipating our first event. Another one in April, and we're building up a business expo again to be held later in the year, maybe June, July, August, sometime around that. And obviously, we're still having our weekly Zoom meetings. We actually swiveled fairly quickly on that, and we've now done probably about 40 to 50 Zoom meetings. So therefore, we were slightly ahead of the curve with that, which is good. But I think everybody's getting a little bit fed up with Zoom meetings. I know I am. So I think that people really want to get back to seeing people in person.
Yeah, I think it's great that the Chamber is offering kind of both options. So if people do want to participate virtually through a Zoom meeting, there's an opportunity weekly. And I think there are some people that are anxious and ready to get out and network face-to-face. So it's great that there are opportunities on both sides. I also happen to know that the Chamber has some really great benefits for individuals that an employer can offer to employees, or an individual can basically get an individual membership to the Chamber and take advantage of these unique benefits. So can you tell me, like, what's in the benefits package that you offer to individuals?
Well, our Premier benefit package, it's something that we put together about 3 years ago, because we felt that when you actually interview people and say, what do you like about the club or the organisation you belong to, and what don't you like? One of the first questions that's always asked is, what do I get for my money? So I thought, it's raised. So we put this together, this package. It contains roadside assistance. It contains a tax service. It contains legal services, a pet club, entertainment cards, and stuff like that. So therefore, it's got something for everybody in it. And it also, the Premier package comes, which is just over $25 a month. And it includes, the uniqueness of it is it includes everybody in your household. So therefore, if you've got 4 cars, your 4 cars in that household are covered under the roadside assistance package. So it does make it slightly unique that way. The entertainment card itself you can actually save your annual fee in quite a couple of trips if you're taking a family of four. So that's where we did that. And with the Premier membership also comes an individual membership to the Chamber.
Yeah, I think that all of those things are so valuable to individuals, and the fact that you get a membership to the Chamber and an opportunity to network with other professionals, that's just like icing on the cake. So
we also added in, because of what's going on, we have telemedicine and a prescription plan with the card as well.
I was going to bring
you know,
that one up. I was going to bring that one up specifically because I know a lot of people don't want to leave home to go to the doctors when they have something that might be minor. They can certainly handle that through telehealth and see a doctor virtually.
The telehealth plan is really good. I mean, my wife used it a couple of months ago. Didn't feel well on a Sunday morning, and at 9 o'clock rang the doctor. And by just after 10, I was actually picking up the prescription.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's such that pays for itself right there. Each one of those benefits pays for themselves pretty quickly. So I think that's
it's
great.
It's not insurance, but it's assurance, and to go with Well TV, it's peace of mind.
Exactly. So Nick, if somebody wants to join the Chamber or get some more information or maybe even attend some of the events, how do they find you?
Well, the website is baccorlando.com, and they can always email me at nick@baccorlando.com.
Fantastic. Nick, we're going to share some of that information in the links online when we share this video. So we will make sure that anyone that didn't write it down or wants more information or didn't have the right information to contact you, we're going to make sure to share it. So I just want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you, Nick, for being a part of the show today. And I I hope everyone will be well.
Lovely. Thanks very much indeed, Heidi. Pleasure to be here.